Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Alright, so I'm a couple days late on this topic. We gotta talk about the second Republican debate as the nomination process continues. I know, I'm quite late. But the night of the debate, I just happened to take the day off. And so I finally caught up. I watched the debate. Well, I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch the entire thing, because for the most part, I mean, that's kind of the point of this video. Nothing really changed, didn't really learn much. And so I've been asking myself, well, how am I gonna frame this video? How am I going to make it interesting? Because for the most part, this Republican nomination process, and especially these debates, have been highly uninteresting. And then it came to me. Chris Christie. Let's just start off with Chris Christie and whatever it is he was doing on the night of. And then, in very general terms, just have a conversation about the debate, the current nomination process. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to start off with little cringe Chris Christie. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so you know what came to mind after watching the debate, especially towards the end? Everything I said about Chris Christie in the video that I made roughly a month ago, well, I stand by it unequivocally.
And I find it offensive that we have professional politicians on the stage that will make a pilgrimage to Kyiv, to their Pope, Zelensky, without doing the same thing for people in Maui or the south side of Chicago or Kensington. I think that we have to put the interests of Americans first, secure our own border instead of somebody else's. And the reality is, this is also how we project strength by making America strong at home.
Thank you.
All right. We heard the names. Governor Christie first.
All right. My theory after the last debate was that Chris Christie was a Republican plant sent to these debates not to actually run for president, but simply to be a uniparty establishment kind of hired gun to go after Vivek Ramaswamy and Donald Trump. Well, second debate, I feel the exact same way. In fact, I feel more reinforced in that belief. Whenever this guy gets a chance to speak, you never hear anything about who Chris Christie is. You never hear anything about his track record, what his vision is for the country. No, all this guy does is try to get these tough guy moments, these little clips that he's hoping are going to go viral on the internet, going after Donald Trump.
People feel threatened there, and we need it in Washington, D.C. also. And Donald Trump should be here to answer for that, but he's not. And I want to look at that camera right now and tell you, Donald, I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching, okay? And you're not here tonight. Not because of polls and not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on the stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
It's honestly all this guy does. You know, it pretty much proves the purpose of him running for president. He's not running for president. He's running to make his entire campaign about Donald Trump. He's running to antagonize, to demonize Donald Trump, and I guess to try to intimidate him. Although obviously not working so well. This guy, yeah, not exactly instilling fear into his opponents. But I guess it's just the Christie shtick, you know? He even does it in the real world. Here's Chris Christie confronting a heckling fan at a baseball game.
When he initially was going up the stairs, I yelled his name and then I told him that he sucked. I called him a hypocrite because I thought, you know, it needed to be said.
Yeah, not exactly sure who you're intimidating with your belt above your belly button, carrying what seems to be an order of nachos. But that's the Chris Christie shtick, obviously totally unauthentic, and I'd say probably a better way to describe it, just totally unserious. And I've been working to that word right there, unserious. I think that word is probably the most important, because this entire thing, these debates, this nomination process, as a whole has been fundamentally unserious. I feel as though literally nothing has changed. Vivek Ramaswamy, I think, is running maybe for a cabinet position, or probably just not gonna win and gonna leave politics, or maybe stick around as a donor, or just kind of like a guy who shows up on TV, maybe running in the next election cycle. Chris Christie, of course, we know what he's doing. Ron DeSantis, as insignificant as ever. Mike Pence, well, still Mike Pence, extremely cringe and unlikable. And then there's Nikki Haley, who seems to be the only person kind of doing well. I mean, I personally don't think that she's doing well, but if you look at the numbers, if you look at the audience reception, she's literally the only one making gains in the polls outside of Vivek Ramaswamy. But even though she's making gains with a very specific, very niche group, as a whole, not really moving the needle whatsoever, still does not stand a chance. Little smart remarks and trying to act like a tough guy or tough girl, trying to flip the script with moments like these.
Scott, I honestly, every time I hear you, I feel a little bit dumber for what you say.
I'm no establishment shill, Nikki Haley wants us to think. I'm a tough girl who says it like it is. Yeah, I just don't think anyone's buying it. The whole thing was just a bunch of useless bickering. I think the only person who's left dumber after all of this, well, it's me. It's not Nikki Haley listening to Vivek, it's me, and it's you. This clip's bouncing around Twitter.
System. It's not the fault of anybody.
Some of us aren't paid excuses. Some of us are not.
Thank you for speaking while I'm interrupting.
Some of us are this last debate. Guys here in Finland, they were going back and forth. Please focus on the issues that matter. We know the business in China. Everybody knows that. Let's focus on holding Joe Biden accountable.
Yeah, I'd say that pretty much sums up the debate. A bunch of political nobodies bickering and speaking over each other, pretty much making no real connection with the audience or any voter group. Just little birds chirping, and not much really being said. The conclusion after this debate is the same conclusion after the first debate. I'm totally unimpressed with every single one of these clowns, and Donald Trump, once again, in my opinion at least, wins the night. Not really a huge fan of these party debates with like 10 people on the stage. I think the presidential debates are a lot more useful when there's only 2 people on the stage. I think Trump made the right decision because while we had these, 7 or 8 individuals on the stage just bickering and barely saying anything, Trump gave a whole speech. And in that speech, he made a lot of declarative statements, not tiptoeing around subjects, not focused on random nonsense and focused on fighting back against ridiculous Chris Christie hits. No, addressing a crowd and telling the crowd exactly what he's going to do when he is elected president.
To reverse these cruel travesties of justice, tonight I'm announcing that the moment I win the election, I will appoint a special task force to rapidly review the cases of every political prisoner who's been unjustly persecuted by the Biden administration.
American dreams over foreign profits, and a future that raises American wages, that strengthens American industry, that builds national pride, and that defends this country's dignity, not squanders it all to build up foreign countries that hate us.
And so we had 7 political nobodies squawking, all trying to yell over each other, and then we had Trump's campaign event. And again, I think the contrast was clear in the winner. I think Trump won the night, and it wasn't even close. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.